So let's hang out.
Hi guys, it's Gina from SoLet'sHangout.com. You'll usually find me around the internet slinging real food with a side of humor, but I'm also a trained professional makeup artist, and I've been having a lot of fun making these videos for you using safer beauty and skincare. So today I'm going to do this look for you. It's kind of a gold bronzy look with the new palette that I just got, and a red lip for a fun night on the town. I'm using mostly Beautycounter products and a few Iredale products. I will list all the products down below, and I will have links to them so you can check them out. And yeah, let's get started. So to start out, we're gonna start again with this Tint Skin foundation. I like this stuff. I like that it's not super heavy, but it builds on itself. And I'm gonna go through this part kind of quickly since I did a tutorial before called the 5-minute face. And that'll show you all of the basics of the foundation and the concealer. And I'll link that up underneath this video. So I'm just gonna put a little bit on my hand. You can use a foundation brush. I know Beautycounter has a retractable foundation brush that is really good, but I'm gonna use this beauty blender that I've been really digging on again. So it's just kind of a moist sponge, and it helps smooth out lines, and I find that I use less product when I use it. Make sure to bring it down into your neck area. If you don't, it won't blend. And then you'll kind of have this, you know, foundation face situation that doesn't look so good. All right, second, we're gonna do concealer pen. Mine is a medium 2 shade. And just like before, I have this all in the 5-minute face, so it might go a little fast, but if you need to go see it, check out that other video. We're just making a triangle tree situation under each eye. And I like to extend it out, put it on your lids, and under your eyebrows, all the way up. If you need more, just click. Like to put it on red spots. Come on. It's gonna totally explode on me, isn't it? Oh, there it is. It did kind of explode on me. I clicked too much. Okay. So put it on red spots. Some people have like some broken capillaries around their nose. I have a few little friends, little zit friends, to put it on. I'm just gonna leave that there for now. Okay, that should be good. Then I'm gonna go back in and blend. I don't know why my mouth needs to be agape when I do this. It always does though. Okay. And the reason we put this all the way up on our lid, we're gonna now take the mattifying powder and we're going to make it so that it stays and it makes like a really nice base. It's almost like an eyeshadow primer. That way our eyeshadow will go on evenly. I'm gonna use this angled blush brush from Beautycounter to do this part. And this is the mattifying powder again. Whew. I'm just gonna put it all over the eye and press it underneath the eye to help set my concealer, and it'll help with any creases that want to form. No one likes a creasy under eye. It's no good. Okay, you can even like go by your nose. Anywhere that you want to set it, you could do your whole face with the mattifying powder. This stuff is awesome. I highly recommend it. Okay, so now that we did that, I would do brows. Let's do brows next. Okay, so I'm going to use this brow pencil in dark. Once again, you can see me do this in full detail in the 5-minute face. So next step is eyes. And since this is going to be kind of a glowy, goddessy golden look with a little retro spin, I'm going to use this amazing Ocean Pacific palette again, and I'm going to dip into all these awesome gold and kind of brown tones. So I'm going to start with this middle tone, the gold tone called Sand. I'm going to sweep it over my whole lid. No, I take that back. I'm going to do Driftwood first. It's going to help bring it out. So Driftwood is the one all the way over. That one right there. And I'm just going to use this tiny brush because I really like control when I'm doing my eyeshadow. If we are smart people, which we are, we're actually going to do this trick with mattifying powder that I did in my last video. We just get kind of a decent amount of mattifying powder, and we're just going to create a little barrier right here. This might look crazy, but it's going to help catch any fallout. So it's much better than having a bunch of eyeshadow all over your face. Because in the end, we just sweep it away and it's all gone. It's not going to look this crazy forever. Could you imagine if I was like, done? I wouldn't do that to you. Okay, so back to Driftwood. These are all highly pigmented. I've said it before, I'll say it again. So all you need to do is really just roll your brush kind of gently, and it's going to pick up a decent amount of pigment. So just take Driftwood and put it over your whole lid. It's just going to build up a nice base for us. Kind of pat it in there. Okay. Next, I'm going to dip into Sand, which is the one I originally said I was going to use, that gold color in the middle. Just dipping in, and I'm going to put it kind of like my last tutorial, right by where my iris is in the center of my lid. The last tutorial I'm referencing is I showed you how to use the blue colors in this palette to make kind of a more like mermaidy sort of eye. So I'll also link that up below. I really like this color. I love gold warm tones. Something about them. Ooh, see, I just touched that, barely. Super pigmented. So just a warning. It's fine. We can smooth it out though. It's actually awesome to have that much pigment in an eyeshadow. Especially a non-toxic brand. We love that. All right, so I drag the sand all the way to the end of the lid, starting in the middle. It's kind of what we have going on so far. And I think instead of using this bungalow color, I might use the bronzer color called Cabana, which is down here, and put that in the crease first and see how dark that is and kind of build that up. Make sure, especially if you're mixing colors, if you're deciding to do a sea glass with like a bungalow situation and mixing the blues and the golds, that you definitely clean your brush in between By the way, you totally can mix these. I just haven't chosen to in these tutorials, but you can. They're really complementary colors on the color wheel, and they look really nice together. So I'm going to continue building up this cabana color in my crease and blending. Like I showed you in my last video, you can kind of lean your head back, not the most flattering view, but lean your head back to see how your blending is going. It'll give you a good indication. It'll show you any hard lines. All right, so that's kind of what we got going right now. Might even take a little bit more of this driftwood color, which is the first color I used. Go back in and kind of bring it around into the, is that your tear duct? Kind of near there, corner of the eye. Because it'll help to make those eyes pop. All right, that's pretty good. So now I like to take a bigger brush. I'm gonna put it in that driftwood again, and I'm gonna use it to sweep under my eyebrow. And this kind of brings out a highlight, and it kind of just makes the rest of your eye look a little bit more finished. So I'm just gonna continue to deepen this cabana in my crease. Leaning back a bit, making sure I got everything blended. That's kind of what we're working with right now. Golden. Okay, so I think we're probably ready to wipe this stuff away. I know you've become fond of it. Just getting it all over the place, all over. It's much easier to brush away mattifying powder than it is to brush away eyeshadow. Okay. So let's talk about bronzer. There's an awesome bronzer in here, which is the Cabana, which I put on my eyes. But I think that I'm going to go a little bit deeper because I'm kind of a bronzer fanatic. So I'm going to use this bronzer number 2, which I'm really into. I usually wear this like on the daily. So with bronzer, I explained this in my other video as well. You're going to want bronzer down here, your blush up here. It goes in like layers. So bronzer, blush, highlight. Bronzer, blush, highlight. So I'm just going to dip into the bronzer. I'm using this big old brush from Beautycounter. Anything that you use a dark color on is going to recede. Anything you use a light color on is going to pop out. So that's why we like bronzer right there. Kind of cuts your cheekbone and makes the good parts pop out. I kind of like a lot of bronzer. I'm kind of a bronzer fanatic. You don't have to wear this much, but I like to get good and gold. If there's any harsh lines, kind of rub them away. Now we'll go in with Sunset, which is the blush in this palette. We're just gonna put it, like I said, kind of on top of the bronzer, just right kind of here and on the apples of our cheeks. Just right there. You make them like this. There we go. That. Okay. Now, there's a highlighter in this palette. There's no other highlighters in the Beautycounter line unless they're like in these special edition palettes, at least for now. So I'm definitely going to use it because it's awesome. I'll use this brush. It's one of the Beautycounter brushes. can also use your finger like I did in the last tutorial. So we're just gonna put this on some high points. Pardon me if I'm just covered in mattifying powder. Okay, so I'm gonna put it down the bridge of my nose. I'm gonna put it, kind of pat it into my Cupid's bow like I did before. And the Cupid's bow is just this little part of your lip. And just for fun, put it right in the corners of the eyes. And we'll do a little more. Let's go crazy. And just kind of right up in here. Super pigmented again, so I'm going to use my finger and just kind of smooth it out. You just want it to pop a little bit. We don't want it to be a line. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so I'm going to use some other products, like I mentioned before, that aren't Beautycounter, but are still non-toxic. So I have a Jane Iredale, it's just a black liquid liner, and I really love liquid liner for this kind of look. This is like how I would do my makeup if I was to go out, probably like my #1 choice. Let's do mascara first though. It's a little bit more forgiving than the liquid liner. So I'm just gonna curl my eyelashes before I put on mascara. I have a bunch of shadow on my lashes, which actually is gonna help the mascara be nice and thick. It's always nice to have a nice thick full lash. And I'm going to use the lengthening mascara from Beautycounter. Love this stuff. We'll just kind of wiggle it on, pull it through. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Sometimes I like to blink into it. Just build up a good, nice set of lashes. The cool thing about this palette, like I'm not very fair complected, but this would all look really good on someone who is much lighter or much darker than me. They look amazing on everybody. I almost want to buy 2 of them because they're limited edition and I don't want to run out ever. Once they're out, they are out. Ooh, these are getting wild. Here we go. As you can see, mascara is doing its thing. We only have a few more steps to go. Ooh, thanks. Okay, so liquid liner, it's kind of a beast. You kind of have to have a really steady hand with it. If you don't, I don't know, you can always kind of wipe it off and start again, or kind of manipulate the line and make it a little bit thicker. But I'm gonna try and do a cat eye. So it's gonna fan out a little bit at the end. It's gonna make my eyes look like they're going up a little bit. It's just kind of old-fashioned retro glam. So here we go. So you take it, I like to start as close to the outside as I can. And of course, I messed up a little bit. And that's okay. I'll show you how to clean it up, because in reality, this happens. So, kind of paint it on. This brush is really thin. Not used to this kind of thin brush. And bring it back down. Okay, we have that little spot that I got in the center that I will show you how to clean up in a second. Kind of dip it in. If it's a new liner for you, you're going to want to just take your hand and draw on your hand and just see how the brush works so you can get a realistic picture of how it's going to paint for you, which I totally didn't do. So be better than me, guys. Be better than me. One thing about a cat eye, you want to make sure that your little swoops on the side are going to be pretty equidistant on each side. You don't want one going way up, one going way down. So just kind of pay attention to that. And if this is way too hard, if you think that liquid eyeliner is way too hard, just use the Beautycounter eyeliner. And you can make it kind of into a smoky eye situation because it has that thing on the back that kind of helps you fan it out. And you can totally do a cat eye situation with a normal liner. I just happen to like the way this looks in the finished product. So I'm not 100% sure I'm in love with this product. This is my first time using it. I like the fact that it's non-toxic, but I'd have to use it a few more times to like really vouch. Just kind of takes forever to get the right line because of the thinness of the brush. Okay, so I did have that tiny little dot in my, right there. I'm gonna kind of, yep, it's gone. Just took a little Q-tip. It took a little bit of the product off, but that's not a big deal because we can just go back right in with our eyeshadow brush and just kind of replace it and blend it. So there you go. So you guys see a little swoopy cat eye. And I'm going to use the normal liner from Beautycounter, which you can totally use for the upper line. And I'm going to put it underneath. I'm going to put it underneath my iris and up the side. I'm not going to join it in here. I feel like that closes off my eye too much, but do what you like. Everyone has really individual opinions about this. I just like to make my eyes as big as possible. I feel like this is kind of go back in after and smooth that out as much as you want. Okay, so for the piece de resistance, my favorite thing about getting dressed up and wearing like a lot of makeup would be a red lip. I'm obsessed with the red lip. And Beautycounter does have some good reds. Oh, here they are. So this is Scarlet in a lip sheer. Ooh. And then this one is Ruby and it's a gloss, and I like to layer them, but they're not as pigmented as I want in this look. So I am going to use a Jane Iredale crimson colored lip liner, and I'm just going to wear it underneath. It's going to give it a little bit more oomph and make it a little bit more formal. So just line the lips and fill them in. Can anyone hear my cat wheezing? She's like dreaming and wheezing right now. And the dog moving. It's a jungle in here, guys. Just follow your Cupid's bow. And fill it in. So you're already gonna have, it's not very easy to talk when I'm doing that, is it? You're already gonna have a much bolder lip than you would usually have just using a lip sheer. So now I'm gonna take the Scarlet and I'm gonna put it over this. Yeah. And you could stop there, but why stop there? We have one more amazing red. Obviously, I like reds. And it'll give you a little shimmer. So I'm going to put this ruby gloss on. Starting in the center of my lip and just kind of dragging it out. Here we go with that. And then how I would finish this, other than, you know, making my bangs not look crazy, I would curl my eyelashes probably one final time. Maybe just put on a little bit more bronzer, because you know how I feel about bronzer. A little intense. So let's just go back in, curl these lashes, get them as curly as we can, because that's really going to bring the glam too. If they're sticking together, just kind of fan them like that. And maybe I'll use this bronzer on top. I'm going to use a little bit of the Cabana. Let's mix and match. There we go. I've got a really watery allergy eye today. And there we go. Kind of a retro, glam, golden situation. That's what it looks like.